Hello and welcome to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Grand Arena Championships, Season 7, Week 4, Round 2. My name is Boma Fett. This week I've gone 1-0 so far, and in Round 2 I'm facing... what is that? So using Google Translate, this is...
Xingzhe.
Skywalker. Alright, here is the Hotbot Comparison. You can see the green on the left are areas where I have an advantage. The red on the right are the areas where Skywalker has an advantage. So let's zoom in and look at this a little more in depth. You can see here, offensive wins, I have a very slight advantage. Undersize, I go undersize more than Skywalker. Defensive wins, I get a few more defensive wins. And total clears 70 to 61. So even though I have the advantage in all four of those, this is a very strong player. With our roster summary, you can see that Skywalker has the advantage as far as GP, overall, top 80, top 65, characters, and ships. Zetas, I have a 63 to 56 advantage, so that's pretty close. Average speeds, I have slightly more speed added for both my Gear 11 and above and my top 80. Gear 13s, I have 9 and Skywalker has 6, but Gear 12, I only have 10 and Skywalker has 36. So 3.5 times more Gear 12s. Total number of Gear 11 or above, Skywalker's at 71, I'm at 62, and again, remember, 42 of those are Gear 12 or 13 for Skywalker, only 19 are Gear 12 or 13 for me. Looking at mods, I do have a few more 6-dot mods, and I do have overall speedier mods. Looking at relics, not only do I have 3 more relic characters than Skywalker, but I have 38 total relic levels to 23 for Skywalker. However, Skywalker does have the highest relic character at relic 6. My highest are relic 5. Let's go back to the game and take a look at Skywalker's roster. Skywalker uses Darth Revan in the arena and Home 1 in the Fleet arena. Here are Skywalker's 6 relic characters. Let's take a look at some factions. Bounty Hunters. We do have the General Grievous Squad. We've got Empire, but troopers look a little low, so no troopers to worry about. Ewoks geared up enough to get a 7-star C-3PO. We've got 3 good First Order characters, and then a little bit low here. Hux and Sith Trooper have not been touched yet, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of comp they put out here for First Order. Galactic Republic, we do have a Padme squad that has 2 relic characters, Anakin and Kenobi. We do have Shaak Ti geared up, and we've got Rex and Echo. Fives is a little low and doesn't have the Zeta yet, and Clone Sergeant and Arc are both Gear 8. So there may be a Shock clone crew, there may not be. Geos look alright, Sunfac is only Gear 8. We do have a Jedi Knight Revan, only Gear 12, and his squad is only Gear 12. We have Night Sisters, although only 4 of them are geared well, and then maybe Talia is the 5th. Spirit and Acolyte are both low gear. We do have a Karth squad. We've got Relic Han Solo. We do have CLS and Chewie. We have Chase and we have Wiggs. Plus Leia, Akbar, Scarif Rebel Pathfinder. So we've got 2 Rebel squads here. We have a full Resistance squad. The Resistance heroes have not been touched yet. We've got Gear 11 Nest, but no Zeta. We've got Newt. Dooku's only Gear 8. So if Jango goes with the Bounty Hunters, I wonder where Newt goes. Curious. Okay, with the Sith of note, Darth Sion is only Gear 8, and Traya is only Gear 8. A little bit low there. Sith Empire Trooper and Marauder are both Gear 1. And of course, I always like to check if they have Wampa. Okay, Wampa's Gear 11 with a Zeta. Okay, let's check out Tian Xingzhe's defense. Okay, so this is interesting. I just talked last video about how important it is to check your opponent's GAC history on SWGOH.GG. Well, guess what? Skywalker is not on SWGOH.GG, meaning I had no idea what he or she sets on defense. I was just guessing based on what most people said on defense and what I myself might personally put on defense. And this is not at all what I was expecting. So, let's take a look. Padme. This Padme squad has 2 relic characters. So this is the best squad on defense that I can see. So this will get my Jedi Knight Revan. Down here we've got Shock Troopers, and we've only got a Gear 8 Arc, a Gear 9 Echo, and no Zeta on 5s. That's the really important part. If there was a Zeta on this 5s, then as soon as I killed Arc, because Arc's going to be weak at Gear 8, it would turn the other 3 into super clones. But that's not going to happen. So this should be manageable. CLS should be able to take that out. Now down here, we've got Bounty Hunters, which I'll use my Jedi Training Ray. And then Jedi Knight Revan, I usually will mirror match these if people put their Jedi Revan on defense, but I need my Jedi Revan for that Padme. So looking at this squad, it's important to note that there's a Zeta Barriss here. And Zeta Barriss does help on defense, but she doesn't have a taunt. So there's no taunt on this squad, meaning that I can go straight after Yoda and get rid of Savior, and then switch to Jolee and go straight after Jolee, and nothing can stop me. So I think here I'm going to take my own Padme squad, and I just have to hope that Revan marks the right person. Hopefully Revan will mark GK. Here's my concern. I have no idea what's going to be back here. I know that personally I might set my Night Sisters and my Geonosians back here if I had Skywalker's roster. But he has a Darth Revan, he has a General Grievous. Those could be waiting back here. And that would make it pretty much impossible for me to get the full clear. On the other hand, it might make it impossible for him to get the full clear as well. So this is going to be tricky. Okay, I am going to plan my attack, and then I will get to it. Okay, so I forgot to start recording until I was already into this match, and then I forgot to do the play-by-play, and so I'm doing voiceover afterward. And I played really poorly in this match. I thought that I would try a new strategy, and that was, see, Dengar is available there, so I put Confuse on Dengar. I go back to take out Boba, and I work on Boba until I get him down, but then I kind of became obsessed with Dengar. Dengar's the one who always steals the banners, throwing the thermals, and so I thought, well, what if I get Dengar out of there more quickly? Forgetting that really the biggest threat on the board is Jango. So I was dumb. I kept going after Dengar, even though he really doesn't do that much damage. So I try and get a stun here on Jango, and it doesn't work, so I should then just go after Jango, and I don't. I go back to Dengar. I keep working on Dengar. I finally kill him, which is great, but then I'm not sure what to do. Do I go after Greedo? Do I go after Bosk? And then boom, Django does that. And then Scav dies, and so now I'm really kind of upset with myself. In reality, I probably shouldn't have even taken this squad against the bounty hunters. I should have used my Geonosians. My brother keeps telling me, use your Geos against the bounty hunters. As long as they're not relicked, it should be fine. You can get 60 banners. And instead, I took in my JTR, which usually gets me 56 to 58. So, just a tactical mistake from the beginning, and then played the match really poorly. I don't think it's a bad idea to put the Confuse on Dengar and prevent him from going stealth. And that way you can actually use R2-D2's stealth ability. But it was dumb to focus on Dengar so much when Django was still out there. So that's a mistake I'll not be making again. So there we go, only 53 banners, which is pathetic. Pathetic. So my next match is Jedi Knight Revan, and I'm going to take my Padme squad here. This is a counter that I know works, but I've never actually done it. So, here we go. They're going to get the first move, and I luck out and they mark Barriss. That's probably the second best person they could have marked. Might have been better if they had marked Kenobi, but I'm fine with them marking Barriss. I do the AoE to get protection up from Anakin. I swarm Yoda there, and I trigger Savior. I do protection up again, and now I notice I have a ton of stacks, and I kill Jolee. Boom. Again, without a taunter on that other squad, I can go after whoever I want, whenever I want. They are getting a lot of attacks against me, so I am a bit concerned. Their Barriss gets down pretty low, but I take out Yoda, no problem. And then we do the kick to the face and get rid of Jedi Knight Revan. So my Barriss is still hurting, so I'm hoping to extend this match a little bit in order to heal. There, I get the heal. And now it's just Barriss left. So it seems like this battle went pretty well, but I still only get 55 banners. So now I'm really irritated. A 53 and then a 55, I am not happy at all. So in the back, we have Geonosians and First Order. So I was expecting Geos. First Order is a little bit of a surprise, but not a bad one. So I know here that I can take my Palpatine against the Geonosians, or I could do Traya against the Geonosians, and I have plenty of options against the First Order. But I'm also kicking myself, because if I had used my Geonosians against his bounty hunters, I could now be using Jedi Training Rey against the First Order. So I decide to go against the Geonosians first, and I take my Palpatine squad. And I love this counter. This counter typically gets me 59 or 60 banners. I have a super high potency Palpatine, and he usually just stun locks all of the Geos, and then I just pick them off one by one while they're stunned. So things start off the way they should. Vader goes first. He throws his saber and gets turn meter. Bastila does her fear. Then I swap turn meter with Palpatine. There we go. And then I get the stuns, except I don't. I only get 3, and Poggle is not one of them, and so Poggle is going to cleanse the whole squad. Big, big problem. I get the Fracture on Brute. I start attacking the Alpha. And there, Poggle set them free. And who did they go after? They went after Palpatine. So now I'm really worried. I just keep pounding away, hoping that I can get through the Brood Alpha, and they keep attacking Palpatine. I'm ability blocked, so I go with the shock instead of the stun. Finally, they attack somebody else, but then they're right back to Palpatine, and they kill him. I'm thinking now this is going to be a loss. I was really upset at this point. I swap turn meter with Nihilus. He does his drain, so he'll be ready to annihilate in the next turn. Bastila spreads some more fear. Fracture the Brute again. Do the crush. And now I do lightning. Here I throw the saber and it kills the Alpha. I'm so happy. Now I'm not sure who to annihilate. I finally go after Poggle. I probably should have done Sun Fac because he's a little beefier, but didn't really matter at this point. The one threat out there is Spy. I'm hoping that Spy will not one-shot somebody. I keep the Brute fractured. Go back to Soldier and kill him. Drain again. Spread the fear. And it affects the Spy. So now even if Spy does get a turn, they won't get a turn. So I'm able to win the match even though they beat Palpatine. So this should make me happy. I found out that I can lose Palpatine and still win the match and get 56 banners, which is as good as I get when I use Traya. So I should be happy here, but I'm not. I'm just fixated on the fact that I didn't get the 59 or 60 banners, and so I'm going to make a dumb decision next. So I should have taken a break. I should have caught my breath, I should have regrouped, I should have thought about it. I could take Geonosians, I could take Traya, I could take my own clones. Any of those would probably be a decent squad against the First Order, but I decide to take Ewoks. Now I know Ewoks can work against the First Order, that's not the problem. It's just not going to be a high banner win. And what I need is to make up banners. So you can see right off the bat, things are not going well. I am not good with the Ewoks. I've barely played with them at all. I don't really know their mechanics very well. And so I probably make a few misplays here at the beginning. And I don't even know what the misplays are. I just know that things don't seem to be going very well. You can see I had to read an ability there because I wasn't even sure what the ability does. I lose Chirpa. But at least I'm smart enough that I know I'm supposed to use Wicket to stealth Elder. We killed the officer. Now I'm not sure who to go after. Maybe Phasma looks squishy. Now Logray's almost dead. So I decide to go after Executioner because Executioner is probably the biggest damage threat. I revive Chirpa. Again, I'm having to read abilities. And there's Executioner. So Chirpa's almost dead again. I do have Poplu taunting, so that should help. We go after Phasma when we can, but now Crew is taunting again. And that AoE is really getting annoying. Every time I get somebody healed up, that AoE comes in and knocks them back down. My Ewoks are not very good. My Ewoks, I don't even have a 7-star C-3PO. That tells you how bad my Ewoks are. I can't even complete the last stage of the C-3PO event. So this was just a dumb decision all around. So I decided to put it on auto at this point because I figure I don't really know what I'm doing. Hopefully the AI is better than me. But it looked like the AI was healing Crew more than hurting him. And so I decided that I would take it off of auto and I would work through it myself. I had 2 minutes left. Again, I'm having to read abilities. I'm not sure which Kylo to go after at this point. Do I go after OG? Do I go after Crew? So I decided to go after the OG Kylo. He doesn't have the Zeta. So again, I've put it on auto. We've got 1.5 minutes left. I'm worried about time. I don't know if I'm going to get through this. And there goes Kylo. So now it's just Crew. And I figure with 1 minute left, I just got to leave it on auto and hope that the AI takes care of it. Worried because I keep seeing his health go back up. It gets down a little bit and then it goes back up. And then it gets down a little bit and then it goes back up. Now we're in the yellow, so I'm starting to get hopeful. We're down in the red. Can we do it? 28 seconds left. 55 banners. So I got the victory, but poor banners again. Again, I probably should have taken a break and calmed myself down and regrouped, but I didn't. I went in to face their Padme squad with my Jedi Revan. This is a counter that I know well. This is what I do in Arena to climb every day, is I take my Jedi Revan against Padme squads that are much better than this. So I know that this is not going to be an issue. I mark Anakin. The key to this match is you don't call any assists or do any retribution, don't attack out of turn until you've killed Padme. We'll do the AoE here and get some healing, and this will take out Anakin. Taunt with Kenobi, and now I'm going to call Yoda because I'm getting the buffs, and then I spread the buffs. Outside of that, you don't want to call assists. So I'm just doing basics for the most part until I can mark Padme again. And there it is. There's the mark. One more hit ought to do it. Boom. At this point, I could actually put it on auto, but I don't. I decide that I'm going to work on it on my own. Normally, you would want to go after Ahsoka next, but Kenobi's going to keep taunting. So, you might as well just kill Kenobi if you don't have the mark to put on Ahsoka. Now that Padme's dead, you can go ahead and call assists all you want. And by calling assists, you also heal protection on this squad. So it's during this time that people are healing up. This final mark calls everybody. Everybody gets protection back. And I end with 59 banners. So I'm pretty happy about that one. So starting to feel a little bit better. We go in against the Shock Troopers. We're going to take in CLS. I've done this match one time, and they had a low gear Shock T when I did it. So this will be my first time against a Gear 12 Shock T with my CLS. I target Rex first because that's what everybody says to do, but I probably should have gone after Shock T. So they're getting a whole bunch of attacks right off the bat. Fives is taunting now, so I'd like to kill Rex or Shock T, but I have to go after Fives. Now CLS can hit around the taunt, but I decide I might as well just take out 5s. So then I try and stun Shock T, but it doesn't work. I put up the taunt, and I get rid of their buffs with Chewbacca. Now, I should go back and kill 5s, but for some reason, I decide to attack Rex. So 5s is taunting again, I have to go after him, I kill him. Next I want to get rid of Shock T, but I'm worried about Rex getting off his Rexecute. So I'm going back and forth, do I go after Rex, do I go after Shock? And I keep going back and forth, finally I decide let's just get rid of Shock T, and then we get rid of Rex. The other two are pretty easy to clean up. There goes Echo. And there goes Arc. So 58 banners. I'm fine with that. I like 58s, 59s, and 60s. I don't like 53s and 55s. Okay, so I should be focused on the ship, but I'm still not quite thinking right, and I'm concerned. I'm like, wait a second, am I actually recording? So I had to double check that. So we have a Tarkin fleet. It's not scary at all. I take in my Negotiator with my normal starting 3, and then I take in Snips and 5s, and I decide to leave a slot open so that I can get an extra banner. My crew gets to go first, so I go after Vader, and I put the stun on Vader. And then I try to put the breach on crew, and I don't get the breach. So that's a little annoying. I do get the buff immunity on him, but he's already got advantage, so I don't know how much that actually helps. Doesn't matter because I kill him. Go after Vader, he dodges and then dies. Now this should just be an easy kill. I decide not to call in a reinforcement. I'm just going to do the basic, and the TIE Fighter dodges. In comes Emperor's Shuttle. I go back to attacking TIE Fighter, and it keeps dodging. It's like this is one of the old school TIE Fighters that's going to dodge everything. So in my frustration, I switch to the Emperor's Shuttle, I call in Snips. And bye-bye Emperor. They get in another reinforcement, this time Kylo's Shuttle. So Snips goes after that. I take that out quickly. Not sure what to do here. I decide to put the buffs on Anakin just in case. We go for the breach. Don't get it again, but it doesn't matter because finally, he doesn't dodge. So 60 banners is not great there, but it's a fitting way to end a terrible GAC. Now granted, my opponent has not attacked yet. He could trip on one of my defensive squads, but a 1729 is not the kind of score that I like to put up. So we'll check back tomorrow, we'll see how Skywalker does. I've got my fingers crossed. So I woke up at 2 in the morning for no particular reason, and I check my phone and I see this. He's defeated my Newt and my Darth Revan in one shot. He also took out my First Order in one shot, but he hasn't yet tried my Bounty Hunters, my Night Sisters, or my Karth Wampa. He's sitting now at 985, so I did a quick calculation and I found that's 55 banners per battle. So I'm thinking, well, maybe I have a chance. So I went back to sleep, and when I woke up in the morning, I saw this. So now he's taken out my Night Sisters, again in one shot, and he's sitting at 1039, which means that he only got 54 banners in that battle. So now I'm really starting to feel hopeful. He hasn't tried either of the other two squads. I think I might just win this. So I come back about an hour later and I see this. He's full cleared me. He scored 1737 to my 1729. So congratulations to Tian Xingzhe, Skywalker, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.